What's going on, everybody? I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the NCRC channel. And, well, here we have on the bench another project. Would you look at that? I know I'm just chock full of them these days, apparently. But I've been really interested in the drag racing street eliminator stuff ever since it kind of got popular probably 2 years ago. So I know I'm a little late to the gun. I wanted to do this last year, but just didn't get around to it and was doing some other things. So I wanted to show you what I've been doing because there's a lot of information out there and there's a lot of different kits you can use, things like that. So as you'll notice, this is the Traxxas Slash Bandit platform, kind of both of them. And the reason I went with that instead of, I know people do it with like B6 kits and things like that, and I do really like that as an idea just because it's like already a race car and they're proven and you can get parts for them and that's all good stuff. But the reason I went with this is because, well, number one, I thought it would be cheaper, which at this point I really don't know if it is or not. But two, it's Traxxas and they have great parts support, they have great customer service. So if anything breaks on here, for the most part, as long as it's not any of the running gear, if it's just chassis, drive shafts, or anything like that, I can just call them up. And so that's really nice. I really like that aspect of it. Just being able to have some kind of manufacturer support, if you will. So this is the build so far, and I'll go over all the parts I've used. So as you can see, wheels and tires, these are the J Concepts Hotties with the 5-spoke wheels, the wheel, and also J Concepts front as well, right there, also with the 5 spokes. I really like the 5 spokes. I think it's just kind of like a classic look and it just gets the job done. I do want to paint them silver probably, but yeah, they look really good. I got the greens. They're super soft. Like, they're way softer than even I thought they were going to be. And then up front, as you can see, pretty much standard fare Traxxas running gear. I have the aluminum shock caps just because this car is going to be going pretty fast. But everything's stock. This was actually a Bandit. So what I did was I put bearings in here because they were bushings in the wheels all the way around. So I put 2 bearings there. I believe they're, what is it, 10 by 5 by 2.5 or something like that. Something like that. They're not the 4. They're not 4 millimeters wide. I believe when you upgrade to the aluminum carriers here, that makes you have to go to 4 millimeter. So I still obviously have all the plastic stuff in here, but yeah, that's what I went with. In the back, I also have the aluminum for the rear shocks, but something neat that I bought that I haven't seen too many people use is this Exotech rear tower. Carbon fiber, pretty cool, and it just kind of puts the shocks in a slightly better, they're still not straight up and down, but as you can see with the wheel there, I'm not even sure they could be straight up and down. So unless maybe you can drill a hole in the arm or something and make them like that. But I think for now this is good. It's way better than what was stock, and maybe I'll move them up to even that higher hole. We'll see. But this is really nice. But the trick with this is because of how this is mounted here, you have to use a stock cap because the screw that comes with the aluminum is not long enough. It does, because the carbon fiber, this is not threaded, and so you need this nut on the back of it to hold it in place, along with this spacer, so the shock doesn't actually it comes close, but it doesn't actually hit the rear shock tower. You need to reuse the stock shock caps, unfortunately, unless I can find another screw like the fronts that's just longer. I would definitely, obviously prefer these to be aluminum, but I don't know, for now, that's what I've got. But right now, that's pretty much it, to be honest, so far. And then for my power system, I guess I'll show you that as well. So I have, that'd be easier to see, that's a Castle Creations 4600 kV. And then in this box, we have, if I can, I'm really bad at doing this with one hand, but, okay, geez, all right. This is essentially a Hobbywing 120 amp ESC, pre-wired for Dean's. I don't know, I'll probably switch that out for the XT60 or maybe XT90 actually. And then it comes with the wires as well. So this goes into the ESC, and this actually plugs right into this motor already, so I don't have to solder anything. This is really plug and play, which is awesome. And yeah, you plug these into these ports here, so the whole thing is plug and play, which is really cool. It also comes with, well, those are the instructions, but under here you have some double-sided tape and some zip ties as well. This was like $65-ish that I found on eBay. I think new they're, I don't know, close to 100. And this is new, it's brand new, but it's just like an off-brand, but it's clearly a Hobbywing. I mean, it looks exactly like it, and I'm sure my Hobbywing programming card will work just fine with it. So that's what I did for that. I know people are running hotter motors and stuff, but whatever. I'm gonna have fun with what I have for now, and then if I end up blowing the transmission, we'll see what happens. Speaking of the transmission, this obviously, as you can tell, is the stock transmission case, and that's just because, like I said, I'm kind of just mocking everything up right now. I'm gonna have to take this all apart again and put everything back together, because I bought two things. I bought the RPM transmission case, which is still plastic here, but this motor mount piece is actually aluminum, which is nice because there's no flex then, so your gear mesh won't get messed up, or like if it's on a hot day, this isn't gonna kind of bend in or anything kind of weird and wonky on you, which is nice. And then yeah, so that's gonna be going on. They also give you different toe angles, so they give you 0 degree and 3 degrees, but I actually noticed that it's already kind of towed in a decent amount. I don't know how many degrees that is, so I might, you can kind of see it there. So I might end up, I don't know, I might end up using the 0 degree. I also noticed when the car is flat on the ground, the entire tire is not quite sitting. It's kind of tough to tell, but you know, for drag racing, you want them to be as flat as possible, obviously. So that's kind of also why I was thinking adjusting those. And I'm going to have to get adjustable turnbuckles as well. Actually, that's really what I need, is adjustable turnbuckles, because these are, there's too much camber on here, so you want the whole wheel obviously to be flat, and right now it's just turned in. So I'm gonna have to get the adjustable ones for the back. I'll probably leave the front stock just because it doesn't really matter. It's not gonna be a huge effect, but I will have to get adjustable rears. And then, like I said, potentially with the toe, I guess I could leave it, but I feel like I want more than 0, because 0 is going to be pretty unstable. So I think maybe I'll start with the 3s, and then I wish they had a 1, but they don't. It's just 0 or 3 degrees. So I'll probably start with the 3s, but yeah, definitely need to adjust get the adjustable turnbuckles, because that's going to be an issue if I can't do that. And maybe I'd like to get ones with a little hole in the middle of them, so you can just put something in there and like an Allen wrench and kind of do it like this, instead of having to go kind of around it like the normal way. But shocks feel pretty good. I do have a one giant preload spacer in here. But they do feel pretty good. I think the oil's definitely too light. Probably have to go, I heard like 80K, 80 weight is pretty solid. So I'll probably try that. The front is fine. I think I just need to add some limiters because it's kind of high off the ground. So if it was like here or even level would be a lot better. But right now it's just kind of monster trucky. So yeah, if I could get it down here, maybe get some fuel tubing, put like 4 or 5 millimeter fuel tubing in the actual shock body so that it doesn't come up all the way. And then I'm thinking for the rear, I could do the same thing except on the outside and just put it on the bottom as like, to act as a bump stop so the rear doesn't compress all the way. Not that I don't think it would, but because that could upset the car as well. You don't want too much movement. You want enough so that it contours to the road, but you don't want so much that you're kind of going like this or something crazy. But that's pretty much it. I haven't bought batteries yet or anything. So what I did was I just bought, this comes with the stock Traxxas servo, which you can barely see. There it is. Here, I'll try to get it to focus. Yeah. Comes with the stock Traxxas servo. So what I did was someone made this chassis on eBay. Basically, it's a Traxxas Bandit with just the LCG Slash chassis put on it. All the hardware is the Phillips head. Basically, I've changed some of it out as I've been working on it. But yeah, so $150 for the chassis, and then you pile everything else on. I should have just bought a DR10 to be honest and called it a day, but part of the hobby's wrenching, and it's fun to do that and tune and kind of build your own thing. And it was fun putting the Exotech on there. I also I forgot to mention the shocks in the back are actually fronts. I ordered a second set of front shocks. Rear shocks, I think looking at the car now would probably be a little too long because I do like how it sits pretty flat in the back. So I think the stock rears would just be too long. And then these fronts I'm gonna have to limit a little bit, at least probably like 4 or 5 millimeters, I would assume, just to get it a little more minimally at least just level, and potentially slightly lower than that. I don't know. And then I don't have any body mounts yet. I do have a body. I'll show you guys that in another video. But yeah, for now this is it. So I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, it's been fun to work on and kind of figure out. And I'll probably still use the stock servo for now. And then my electronics will go in there. Maybe I'll mock those up later tonight. Just kind of see what that might look like with the ESC and motor. And it's coming along. It's been a fun build. I'm excited for the snow to melt, hopefully soon, and get this thing outside and start ripping it. I also ordered. I have the Traxxas wheelie bar mount, and I ordered a wheelie bar from I'm gonna forget. Drag Race Concepts or something like that. It's their carbon fiber 10-inch adjustable wheelie bar. I think it looks pretty sick, and it's pretty easy to mount. I mean, once you have the Traxxas wheelie bar mount, you just slap it on there. So that's where we're at currently. It looks cool. I just wanted to get everything mocked up tonight. It looks really cool. I think it's gonna hopefully perform well, and can't wait to get the last few parts for this thing and complete the build. So I hope at least some of that was informational, beneficial for you. And if you're thinking about doing this is a really good platform to do it with. I think you can be just as competitive with this as you could with really anything else. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to have fun. There's not a league or anything in my area, so it's really just me going outside. I've got another buddy building this exact car, as far as like the chassis goes. So we're just gonna race each other outside in our front yards, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, maybe we can find another place to race them down the road. But yeah, having a good time learning about this. So a couple more parts and pieces, a little, a few more hours of work, and definitely some detail to do with the wheels and the body, obviously, and just some other things. But coming along really nice. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and I'd love to hear what you guys think, and we'll get this thing going pretty soon. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching it, and I'll check you out in the next one.